This past May, a black teenage boy was jumped on by 11 people that did not look like him. Okay. Now, his father recently went to the police because they tried to go through the school and things like that to get things handled, but I guess it wasn't going fast enough. Again, that happened in May. So not too long ago, his father did go to the sheriff's department. There was video of it. Somebody who was part of that little mob there, they released it. And I'll tell you what, they did a lot of heinous things to that boy, and he should be very happy to be alive and to have survived that. Now, it also sounds like maybe one of the girls there that he was dating set him up. Okay? And they're also saying that I don't know if it's racially motivated. We're still trying to find evidence of it being racially motivated. Okay. If 11 people are jumping on a black boy and doing the things they did to him, I think that's probably all the evidence you need. But anyway, my message is for the parents. Parents, I need you to come as close to the screen as possible. And I smell good, okay? So don't worry about that. Why do y'all allow y'all black children to hang out with people who do not look like them? Who do not think like them? Now, they did say that one of the people there was biracial. Do what you want to do with that. But the others were not, okay? Parents, why don't you know where your children are? Why don't you know who your children are hanging out with? When those people come to your door, your spidey senses don't go up. You don't say, hey, honey, you don't have no little friends that look like you, who think like you, that talk like you. No, you ain't going outside with them. Because guess what? Do you think that they would allow their children or their daughter to go hang out with a bunch of people that look like you? The answer is no. See, I want to know why we as black folks are so doggone friendly when it comes to people who do not look like you. Why are you why is your guard down? Oh, yes, that should be fine. Just be careful. Make sure you come back on time. Why y'all like that? Like for me, my daughter didn't hang out with a whole bunch of people that didn't look like her. Oh, heck no. I wasn't allowed to hang out with a bunch of people that looked like me either. And I went to what some would say predominantly white schools sometimes, right? And I wasn't all hanging out with them like that. Did I know some of them people? Yeah. But I wasn't about to be the only one. No. In my Kamala voice, right? So I'm asking you, parents, why are y'all so trusting? That little boy could have lost his life. And them people look crazy. They look like something that ventured out of the hills, have eyes. I kid you not. And you're not concerned about that? One of them, I think, was an adult, and he was doing the cyberbullying. One of them was 17. I think the little black boy was like 14 or something like that. First of all, it was at night. Far too young to be hanging out at night as a 14-year-old boy. Why do y'all allow y'all children to just roam free? God, anything could have happened to him worse than what happened to him. I can't show y'all the video here because I just can't. It was horrible. They blurred his face out and things like that, but on the video that they released online, they did not do that. So, Daddy, as you're going and making these reports, you also need to ask yourself, why don't I know who my children are hanging out with, okay? And why am I allowing my child to be outside at night? It seemed like it was at night to me, it did. So why are you allowing your children to be out at night with people who glow in the dark at night? I'm just asking. You have to do better. Stop. Do some checks and balances. Who them people? Right? Act like when you're going over to somebody black's house that invited you. And then what's the first question you say? Or you ask rather? Who all gonna be over there? You need to do the same thing with your friends. Or your children's friends rather. Who all gonna be over there? I need their mama name, their daddy, who all gonna be over there. Oh yeah, I need to talk to their mama. I need to talk to their daddy. See, that's how I grew up. My parents didn't let me just go willy-nilly over people's houses and not know where I was at and all that other stuff. They had to know where I was at. Parents, why don't you care where your children are at anymore? And I'm not victim blaming. I don't think he went expecting those things to happen to him. But you got to care. Your children, they children. They think everything is great. Oh, mom, they're fine. I know them at school. Well, school's a controlled environment, barely at this point, but it's still a little bit more controlled than them just out and about. So you got to care about your children enough to protect them and to say, I don't think so. You ain't going outside with them. And at night? You just be mad at me, but you'll be safe though. See, we ain't gonna have a conversation with the sheriff office behind all the things that they did. Some of the things they did to this little boy busted a blood vessel in his eye. He went unconscious. Where do these kids think of these things? And they say, oh, that was a long time ago. But see, they have taught their children the things that they used to do to us. And again, they're trying to consider whether it's a hate crime or not. But there's a whole other group of people, a lot of the group of people in this country that if you even looked at them wrong, you'd be charged with a hate crime. But all of those things that I cannot mention here that happened to him, they're trying to consider whether it's a hate crime or not. And it sounds like the sheriff's wife was also involved in saying something derogatory about the case too, where he had to issue an apology. Anyway, y'all let me know what you think of that. And for more insightful commentary, please subscribe to the channel and my channel, The Demetra Kaye Show, here on YouTube. Peace.